Because the centrifuge will spin materials at a very, very high speed, we have to make sure that anything sample that we put in the centrifuge has to have a balanced sample across from it. Otherwise, we end up with a situation like what happens with your washing machine on the rinse cycle, where if the load is not balanced, then it starts to go whomp, 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 whomp. At 2,000 times the force of gravity, it's not just going to go whomp, 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 it's going to go kaboom. So we want to make sure that this does not happen. Because of that, if we have a sample, we have to balance it with something of the same weight and put that directly across from it in the centrifuge. That's what this scales is for. If you're using samples that are the same, you can work with somebody else, some other lab group, and simply, if you have about the same amount of material in there, simply transfer liquid back and forth until we get the tubes to balance. Notice that I put the lids on the scales as well, because if you have one side with a lid and one side without a lid, when you go to put them in the centrifuge, they won't be balanced. Now, this is something that is important to do, but we don't want to spend a lot of time working and working to get it balanced just exactly right. Close will be good enough. There will be other situations where you will be using a material that you want to keep sterile. Because of that, you obviously do not want to open it out in the lab. In situations like that, what you do is simply take a tube that you are going to use as a blank, again with the lid, and use water to balance your tube. That way you do not have to open your sterile tube while you are balancing it. Once these are balanced, then you can take them and put them in the centrifuge and spin them without worrying about it being unbalanced.